Great. Eternals #1, following up on Neil Gaiman's series. You've seen that? Yes.
I've worked on that one too.
Okay, well,
here we go. This guy.
well, let's talk about that. I mean, other than the assistant editing, what went into making this book?
Well, this is I read a lot of stuff to work on this book too, because a lot of people don't know a lot about the Eternals, and that included me at the time. And so they're kind of obscure characters. So I kind of started reading the Jack Kirby original stuff for the first time when I started working on this book. And I gotta say, it was great. The Jack Kirby stuff it's just so nuts, but it's really wonderful. I'd seen some of the Fourth World stuff at DC that he did, and I wasn't into it. It just didn't grab me. But the Eternal stuff I think is way more interesting. Even if it is based on a bunch of like all the silly stuff from the 70s, where they were like, oh, the ancient astronauts came and talked to the Aztecs and stuff.
People were crazy.
70s were a crazy time.
I was born at the tail end of that.
I was alive for 2 weeks of the 70s, so there you go.
Oh,
That's good
we
too.
are young.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Getting to
this
know
was
us.
a good issue. I liked it a lot. In particular, I like Acuna Matata.
Nice.
Okay. Acuna Matata. I'm just keep putting it. I think it's going very well.
No, people love the Lion King. Listen to them.
That's great. You guys like The Lion King, right?
No.
Wow.
That is a very popular movie.
Eternals more than the Lion King, right?
This is obviously a Hunchback of Notre Dame audience. So you gotta know your crowd.
You're right. I'm sorry. They like seeing gargoyles.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. But this is a good book. It's well put
It
together.
picks right up where Neil Gaiman left off, and in a very dense way. I was kind of surprised, but very pleasantly surprised.
Well, it really did, and that was one of the problems we had working on it. If you open it on the first page, it's got I said if you open it. The first page is
Which I did.
an intro page, which is not really a recap page because it's the first issue, but it does basically recap everything about the Eternals that I could fit on a page reasonably. Because, like I said, they're really kind of confusing, and there's a lot going on with
Yeah.
it. Some people criticized it and were kind of like, "That's way too long for a first issue." We were like, "Sorry."
Well, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, Eternals is really dealing with the circle of life. You know?
That totally. Yeah, totally.
Most of you aren't going to get that.
Yeah, I was kind of like, meh. I felt like Justin a little bit on Scar there, where I was just like, who are these people? Why do I care? I don't know enough about them to really get into it.
Well, read the recap page.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, turning to something I'm sure you loved, which is Kick-Ass #3. Pete, did you like this issue, and if so, why?
Yeah, I mean, I jumped out of my seat when I read it. I was completely shocked. I came out of left field. Those last couple of pages, I was like, wow, I did not see that coming. That's crazy.
If you guys aren't reading this book, what happens is this kid, it's one of those ones where it takes place in the real world, and the kid's like, I'm gonna be a superhero. So he gets in a costume and gets beat up in every issue so far. Again, it happens in this issue, until this girl comes out with a sword and stabs a bunch of people.
And
Cuts their heads off.
Yeah. On the top of their head.
And then calls them cunts.
Yeah, she's like, are you cunts ready to do this or something? And it's like, what? It was out of left field, but it was really good.
It was very shocking.
I thought it was terrific too. Yeah.
That was okay.
Why?
I'm very interested to see where it goes from here.
I don't know.
You
I
don't like it when people use the C word.
I don't. It makes me very uncomfortable.
See you next Tuesday.
I don't know. There's something about the series that I keep going back and forth. I wasn't crazy about the first issue. I liked the second issue. I wasn't crazy about the third issue. So I'm guessing I'll love the fourth issue. We'll see what happens.
Were you at least shocked by what happened? Did you see?
It happens like every day. Welcome to New York.
Yeah. He's in a Fight Club, so this is
Union Square, Thursdays. Great. Let's go on and talk about Titans #3. This is the crappiest piece of crap I've ever read in my life. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I like Judd Winnick most of the time. This is the worst piece of trash he's ever written. And if that isn't bad enough, the art is worse.
Really? I like the art.
What? You know what? You're wrong.
Oh! All right. Okay, maybe I'm right.
Yeah,
No,
here, wait. Can I just show you this?
They're very tall.
They're very tall and leggy, and there's no sense of layout, so there's usually no backgrounds and everything. And they're just people kind of wandering around the page most of the time. My favorite thing, a little bit of a spoiler, is Starfire and Nightwing end up sleeping together because they're under the thrall of some desire god or whatever, and they end up having sex. You guys probably won't be able to see this panel, but over there are Starfire's legs, and those are Nightwing's
No,
legs.
but that's...
Okay, it took me like 5 minutes to look at that and be like, why is she lying on his back?
No, but
Why?
You don't understand sex.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand.
Do you know what? Also, the artist doesn't understand sex.
Well, then,
Then I like this because we believe in the same thing.
I believe
I can't believe it took you 5 minutes to figure it out, but it was ridiculous. It was like every time you saw
Why don't you
Starfire,
repeat show me?
she looked like a hooker.
Yeah.
She was just like, well, that's every time, every position. It was like, okay, we're gonna break up in twos. It was just like,
Seriously, this is okay. Yeah, no, Pete's absolutely right. You guys probably can't see this. This is them hanging out and talking. When have you ever hung out with your friends like, we're also gonna face away from each other?
this fucking dude was what's going on today?
Let's not look at each other while we're having a conversation. What do you guys think?
It's ridiculous.
That's very Dawson's Creek.
Well, they also do one of those moments in there where, after an issue of the characters all doing ridiculous things that you would never expect them to do, they go, "Aren't we all acting a little out of character?"
Yeah.
Yes,
Nailed
yes,
it,
we
nailed it.
are.
This series is one of the worst things I've ever read in my life. Pick it up. All right. Let's move on. And for no particular reason, we're going to talk about B.P.R.D, War on Frogs, and Chuck at the same time.
Wow.
Particularly the reason is that you wanted to talk about, you didn't want to talk about B.P.R.D, and you didn't want to talk about Chuck, but vice versa. It's something you wanted to talk about.
Is it an either or? Like you can only buy one of these two books?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know. So,
Someday this will
what
be
do
in
you
a
guys
great
think? How do these issues hold up together?
Well, I thought Chuck sucked, and I really liked B.P.R.D.
Justin?
Chuck was bad, but whose idea was to make Chuck into a comic? That's what my question is.
But you agree with
It's a
turning
hit.
B.P.R.D into a comic book?
Yeah, what if they turned it from a
Yes,
comic
please. If
into
we're
a
going to
comic?
make points, let's make them about both.
Yeah, it's good. The juxtaposition is charming. Yeah, this book was kind of, it's a one-shot, which seems ridiculous. A war only takes place in one issue, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Whereas
Sometimes
this is
wars
an
don't
ongoing
go on for a
series.
long time.
Right. Limited series, 1 through 6.
Is this not working?
Chuck is very confusing. Even though I've watched the show and I still don't know what's happening.
I think, how many of you like Chuck? Nice. You guys are my people. Too many people.
Are they listening to the show? Every question, there's no answer.
You haven't watched Chuck?
No, they're all listening to Lion King on iPod.
Like, I gotta get fun out.
Yeah.
It's happening. Spoiler.
What?
Lion King. It's happening.
Oh.
Chuck, it's happening.
Huge reveal.
Chuck is a terrible series that is trying to appeal to geeks by being like, every episode, some stuff goes on, and then they're like, this is like World of Warcraft. And then they go on for no particular reason, thinking that's going to be more than enough to talk about. This comic book follows suit by being really stupid.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, on the other hand, B.P.R.D, pretty good.
Oh, you like?
Wait. So, you guys all three think the show sucks, and yet you all still read the comic to say
We have a comic book show that we
Yeah, I know,
talk
but
about
it-
comics.
Okay. I know, it's just like if you already hate the thing, I'm surprised you would read the comic.
We owe it to our loyal audience. Being Chuck number 1.
Well, because also, like, let's say the TV show sucks, but the comic's good. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
It was like Shadowhunter. I was like, this has got to be ridiculous,
All right.
and it was.
Wait, what?
That's not a good example.
That's terrible.
It's the opposite.
Maybe I was trying to make a point there.
Don't know anymore.